Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. I was shaking my bum for so many reasons today. Oh my God. A, welcome to the end of the week. B, I finished my book. Oh my God. It's like it's been delivered from conception to contractions, from transition to the ring of fire, to pushing the thing into this world. My God. It is here. It is done. I finished it last night at about 10 o'clock ish. And I tell you something, that last chapter, honestly, I posted little status on my personal profile last night saying, like, I could hear the Chariots of Fire playing in my head. Da, 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 da. That's exactly how I felt I was typing. I was willing myself over the finish line. But it is done. I am the Queen Bee. The book is done. I am super excited. It is going to be submitted to the publishers later on today. We're just going to do some final grammar checking. Honestly, as soon as I wrote the last word, I didn't kind of know what to do with myself, but instantly I felt lighter. Instantly, it was like, it's been pretty heavy these past couple of weeks, as you know, and telling some of the stories and bringing some of those stories like out has been painful. It's been cathartic. It's been I've learned even on my own self-development journey, I've learned loads about myself again in writing the book, loads about how I deal with stuff, and loads about, how I procrastinate, like really studying myself through the process of this so that I can help other people. Because the whole topic of the book is about how I overcame self-sabotage and how you can too. So obviously, you know me, I love a bit of psychology and I love like the science of how everything works. So when I'm working through it, I'm referencing science, I'm referencing, my own personal experience, I'm referencing our wider experience. And to catch myself in the throes of self-sabotage, to catch myself in the subconscious of self-sabotage as I'm writing about it, again, really helped me to learn more about how to push through it myself. And look how light I feel this morning. I'm all jiggy this morning. So I am definitely dancing to the music in my head as we head on into Friday and head on into the weekend. Let's say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Diane Ivory. Good morning, Vicky Head. I'm an amazing queen. So are you. I feel like my there we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? I feel like I don't feel amazing. Well, I don't feel like I'm amazing. I feel like what I've done is amazing. Not many people I know. And I was just saying to Ali backstage there, it's not because I'm great, it's because I'm stupid. Writes a book in, 2 and a bit weeks. Good morning, Jackie Walker. Hello, my darling. How are you? Great job. Oh, thank you, Diane. Thank you for being such a lovely support in the background there with that. Sharon, good morning. Sharon's going to be on our show next week. Very excited to be speaking to Sharon. Sandra, good morning, my darling. Thank you very much. Sarah Savory in the house. I just like loads of you were just cheering me over the finish line. All of the gifts, all of the messages, all of the reminders to eat. Because there have been days in the past few weeks where that hasn't happened. I've just completely forgot myself. Because as well as this, I've been delivering all the things that I've been delivering. So having my one-to-ones, looking after my Be Inspired Speaker Mastermind, who are going to be speaking. So at the end of this month, so here's the next things that are coming up. End of this month, the doors open. We're going to have our free speaker challenge in the IATQB Hive. If you're not in the Hive, get yourself in the Hive, where I'm going to be teaching you loads of different ways that you can get speaking, start to smash through some of your like visibility issues if you have any, and also we'll be opening the doors to be heard. So you want to be a speaker, plus the Be Inspired Mastermind. So we've got lots happening. For all of you that have been waiting to work with me whilst I've been getting this done, I've not been sort of taking on any new clients, then at the end of this month, that's when you can work with me. You can either do a DIY course, or we're going to do a live course together, or indeed we've got the mastermind, which is where you work with me for 6 months and then come and speak at Be Inspired. So Be Inspired, where you can see some of my incredible graduates and some special guests as well on the 15th of October. A couple of tickets left for that. So yeah, it's all going on. And then of course, we've got the book launch at the end of October, the 29th of October, we go live on Kindle. And then we have a big PR event on the 7th of November. So that's going to round out all of the activity for IATQB. And then you guys, I promise I'll have a holiday. I will take some time off, I promise. And then I will cook up with my next stupid thing to do. And you can share whilst I birth that into the world as well, because as you know, things are hotting up for all things I Am the Queen Bee, and you guys are such a huge part of it. I'm doing this for you guys, so it's incredible to have you all along on this journey. So just a thank you as we kind of kick off the show today, for all of the support that you've given, for every message that you've given me, for any gift that you've sent me, just kind of spurring me on. This one has got a special day today. Tell everybody what you're doing today.
Going to school.
She's going to school today, you guys. She's going for a little visit into school. She starts school this time.
We're going to somewhere tonight.
We're going to go and have a little celebration tonight. The girls have been really, really patient with me as I've been writing this book and doing all the things that we've been doing over lockdown. So we're going to go out together, aren't we, this evening? And we're going to celebrate. We're going to go to Billy Bob's and we're going to go and have some. Because I finished my book. She's been my little cheerleader. Right, you're going downstairs and I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, Mom.
So yeah, we are celebrating. So I'm going to take the kids out tonight. I'm just going to spoil them a little bit because they have been so patient. I've not for the past few weeks. I've been head down. Don't speak to me. Go and see Daddy. Don't speak to me. Go and see Daddy. And it's been horrid to do, but they've been so patient. They can see what it is that we're trying to achieve together. So Mummy's over here building the castle, and I can kind of get back into a bit of reality now, which I'm really excited about. So we're celebrating today, and I am excited to be celebrating with our incredible guest this morning. Before we do, let me know what the weather's doing where you are. It's a bit shit and pressing, if I'm honest, but I feel like putting a little scorchy or bee down anyway because I'm feeling that happy. But it is a little bit shit where we are. It's grey and overcast in Preston. Tell me what the weather's doing where you are in the world. If you are watching outside of the UK, we will represent you above the compass. Just tell us where you're watching from and what the weather is doing. It is not the proper weather. Just pop your head outside. There's no science involved. It's all very thrown together. This is my fake show on Facebook. Right. Let us get going. It's a bit shit in South Wales. Thank you, Carrie Davis. It's a bit shit. Let's get you represented there. It's a bit shit in South Wales for our gorgeous Carrie there. Let me know what's happening. If I can catch it, I will pop it on as we're having a little chat this morning. So, without further ado, as you know, I love to have lots of different types of guests on. We've had some really interesting guests this week. Yesterday, we had the fabulous Paul Newton talking about identity theft, talking about cybercrime, and talking about magic. So we've treated some magic tricks yesterday as well. Today, we're going to get to business a little bit. So this lady is an absolute expert. She has written a book even on Pintrest and how we could be using Pinterest to help get more visible and help grow our businesses. Now, I'm going to be here this morning with my pen and paper ready to take notes because Ally Davis is here to share with us all of the juicy gold about the fabulous search engine that is Pinterest. Ally Davis, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are we?
So happy to be celebrating with you on my show this morning.
Me too. I'm dead chuffed, and it's a bit shit in Wales. I don't know quite where in Wales I am. I'm sort of south.
Are you
west,
sort
I
of
think,
south?
but
Southwest.
yeah, so
we can represent you. I think it's going to be the same everywhere. Let's get Wales represented.
that's
I know
good.
some of our Welsh beauties are watching this morning. I'm sure you will correct me if you are elsewhere in Wales and it is any different. But we're in Welsh Wales this morning.
Welsh Wales.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for getting up early.
No worries.
I know it's a bit of a slog.
I don't know how you do this every day. I'm not a morning person either, so this is like serious for me. Serious business.
The funny thing is, Ally, I'm not a morning person either. And the
Are you
reason,
not?
no, I'm not at all. You want to see me 10 minutes before I let you in here? I'm like,
because you come across like mornings are your deal. Like you're in bed by 9 and up at like 6.
I am
type.
not in bed. Those that are close to me know that I just don't sleep. That's different. That's not healthy for anybody. So yeah, the reason why I started to get up in the morning like this was because at the start of lockdown, all of the routine just left the building.
Yeah.
So ordinarily, I would have things lined up where I would need to leave the house. I would have meetings queued up. So I would have reasons to get up and get dressed. So by doing this, I gave myself a reason to get up and get dressed and keep focused and keep moving. So
good.
Now that
obviously you've birthed a book.
I don't even know how I've done it. I don't know how I do half the things I do. If I look at over the course of lockdown, we've created a fake show on Facebook. We've raised over £20,000 for different charities. We've written a book. And I say I've done it, and then Wallace has like parted the tide whilst I've just been like, I'm gonna do this really crazy thing now, Wallace, and he's gone, okay.
Okay.
I'll just hold the fort for you, babe. Do what you need to do. But Ali, enough about me. Let's talk about you, because you have skills. You have a special set of skills
on
the internet. Tell us about what it is that you do.
So I help women, businesses, high achievers use Pinterest to increase their sales, their leads, and then convert those leads into sales.
Nice. I like that. Straight out there. So what does that look like? How do you do that?
So Pinterest isn't a social media. It's actually a search engine like Google.
Right.
So a lot of people think that it's just another social media platform, and that it's a way of just like posting what they've had for breakfast or a healthy recipe, but it's actually a marketing tool. So it's just like Google, but it is represented visually. Yeah. So when you do a search on there, you get loads of obviously inspirational photos, graphics, videos. And that's basically why I believe every business should be on Pinterest, is because it is a search engine and it's represented with visuals. Mm-hmm. So I help businesses, women, people use Pinterest to obviously market their products, their services, their resources, blogs, or any free sort of downloadables they have. Help them market it so that they can reach a wider audience.
Brilliant. Amazing. So what brought you to that? What brought you to Pinterest? Like, because Pinterest has been a thing for a while. If I look at when I've used Pinterest, I use Pinterest for tattoo inspiration. I have boards for the new house.
Love that.
Right. I have a board for the new house. Daisy has Daisy, my middle daughter. She is very organized and she likes to plan things. So she uses Pinterest. She's only 10, but she uses Pinterest for her inspiration for her bedroom to sort of kind of keep her involved in the process. Yeah. But I don't use it for anything to do with business. It's like I've created my own little Argos catalogue of stuff that I like.
That's what a lot of people do. Yeah, I was talking to Sarah Stone about you the other day, saying Dani needs to be on my list of people that could be targeting Pinterest with her business. But
I need to know how I can do that. I didn't know that like people who want to be speakers, are they hanging out on Pinterest?
Yeah, so basically everybody and anybody hangs out on Pinterest. So I would put my money on that everybody's ideal client is on there in some shape or form. Right. And what Pinterest is really good at is actually people come across your products or services or articles or resources, and then they haven't actually gone to Pinterest for that reason. So part of the inspirational journey and buying journey is they'll be searching for a tattoo, for example, and then that tattoo takes them onto some other images on something else, and before you know it, they've ended up stalking your profile on your website, you know, and that's what's really clever about Pinterest.
That's like getting lost in a TikTok scroll hole, isn't it? You just sort of like fall into somebody.
yeah, Pinterest is addictive, and it's so easy to get caught up and like look at Pinterest and then 3 hours later and not realize you've been on there for that long. But
yeah, absolutely. I want to know from those of you that are watching wherever you are in the world, do you use Pinterest?
Yeah,
Who uses it like me? Who uses it like me? It's their like Argos catalogue of their like wish list or their wish looks for things like tattoos, house or design inspiration for.
And I do the same.
Yeah.
I've got boards, like serious boards on house, on life, on bucket list, but they're all secret.
When people are having weddings, when people are having weddings, so these secret boards, I guess, these ones that are like, for me, I don't have anyone like come and look at it. Like some of it, I want to keep it secret. I want to. It's not for anybody else. Like what I want to like create. So Emma is saying yes, she loves it for her business. Amazing. Yay. So Emma's using it already. Fantastic.
Hey,
Emma. Nick Wagstag, yes, I started to do more worthy for my business because of it. Fantastic. Yay. That's amazing. Does anybody just use it like me? Come on.
Come on, give them some support here.
Style, like let me know. Are you all on this? You're all on this Pinterest bandwagon that I am like a million years too late for. I'm only just starting to get to grips with Instagram, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Tattoo, caravan interior, hairstyles, protein recipes, some secret ones like photo shoot ideas and marketing ideas as well. Nice. Emma, massive Ally fan. I love it.
Thank you, Emma. I did ask my group. I was like, come and give me some support. So
I love it.
Emma.
Thank you so much to Ally's group for coming and supporting. We appreciate you coming here for a couple.
Yes, absolutely.
We want to be telling more people about how they can use Pinterest to really, really boost their visibility and to bring more people in, because it's difficult, especially like for me, even in the last 18 months, only just getting to grips with things like Instagram. And there is a pressure to kind of do all the
things.
So we've got Twitter and we've got LinkedIn and we've got Pinterest and we've got TikTok now. God, so understanding that Pinterest isn't the social media platform that you consider it to be, and actually it's like a Google. And if you consider SEO as part of your marketing strategy, then actually Pinterest, dare I say it, Ally, is a little bit easier.
Absolutely. So what I try and advise is, yes, we have to do all the things. Like even as a business owner myself, I'm thinking, right, what am I posting on Instagram? What am I doing with Facebook? Oh, I need to put something on LinkedIn. I haven't even got to TikTok. I'm not even on Twitter. But you think about all these things. But with Pinterest, what you can do is schedule out weeks in advance your content. You can obviously share your own content, create your own pins, but also sharing other people's content, because Pinterest is all about collaboration.
Right.
And then you haven't got to worry about it then. So it's very much like you can plan in advance. It can be there in the background where you're pinning, if you use a scheduler, that sort of thing, where you're pinning, but then it's bringing you quality leads, traffic to your website. But you can also use it like while you're launching. You can use it to build your email list. You can obviously, if you've got any themes going on in your business, like books, that's what I sell my book on Pinterest, that sort of thing. You can obviously sell on Pinterest, but you can also add value and serve your ideal client. So your ideal client can easily find you based on obviously how you use strategic descriptions and keywords.
So what got you into Pinterest? Like, what made you think, right, I'm going to make this my thing. I dig on this. Like, I'm going to teach people about it. I'm going to write a book on it. What brought you to that?
Well, basically, it'd be 4 years now. I'm not sure the time, but at 29, I was diagnosed with at the time they told me it was cancer.
Okay.
And then it wasn't cancer, but it's a rare autoimmune disease. So basically my corporate career just stopped, and I couldn't cope with symptoms and working. So then I spent a long time sort of in this really deep hole of my life has got no purpose, and what do I do? And literally lived in pajamas day in, day out. So then I had a lot of help and support and got therapy and things like that, to really look at like what could I do. And I found Abby and Sarah, and they were great mentors. And then I ended up being in their mastermind.
So when we say Abby and Sarah, just for the people that don't know, we're talking about, it's okay, we're talking about Abigail Horn from Authors & Co., who's our publisher, and also Sarah Stone, who happens to be my cousin, but she's also...
Which I didn't know until the other day, which I thought, I was like, oh, that's amazing.
So she is one of my sisters from another mister. She's my cousin, and we grew up together. She is the founder and creator of Creative Feng Shui, and she's just released her book. She is now a #1 bestseller in her field, in interiors. So anyone that's interested in intentional stuff and interior design, like, you need to go and get amongst what our Sarah's doing. Our Sarah, she's just off.
Just our Sarah.
But yeah, they ran Female Success Network, and then you kind of came into their world that way.
Yes, so I came into their world that way. So prior to that, when I was in my dark times, I would just scroll Pinterest. So you would just scroll and I'd find loads of photos of places I wanted to visit that I thought would be never. And like, I'd go through like bucket list and stuff that if life was different, I'd do all these things. And so basically I had like tons of pins, tons of boards, just literally scrolled every day. And to be fair, it was like an escapism, because I found it really almost therapeutic looking at all these different inspirational pictures. And then, so came into Abby and Sarah's mastermind with like, I was doing network marketing before. So came into that thinking, right, I'll build my network marketing business. I can do that around my house. And then they were like, have you ever thought about Pinterest? And I was like, well, no, I just use it. And so then
just like it.
Yeah, I just like it. So then I, did lots of training. I worked on their accounts, Authors & Co. accounts, and Female Success Network account. And then, slowly built up, obviously, who I was working for. And then last year I thought, well, I'll just write a book. Why not? So,
why not? So much to do, in it.
Yeah,
did you do it in 2 weeks? Were you in Obed as well?
No.
Well,
and
good. I'm glad for you.
But I'm like you in that it's all last minute. So Abby was like, Ally, we're going live on, I think it was September the 9th. So we're coming up to my year. And she was like, we're going live. And I was like, really? Are you sure we want to go live then? And she was like, no, we're going live. And I was like, okay, shit, better do some writing then. So it was like, I mapped it out for over the year and then got down to it like the last week. But so that's how I really got into it, and then launched properly last September with my book. So that's how I kind of came into the world. A lot of people sort of knew about me because I'd done a lot of work on different people's accounts to build up my profile, but I hadn't really come into the world. So then September launched my book, and then was like, hey, I'm here.
Here she is, and here she is. And how have you found it since? Like, what has the journey been like since you launched your book, and since you really kind of stepped into this sort of Pinterest guru, expert, amazing beacon of knowledge?
Thank you. That's so kind to call me all those wonderful things. It's been hard. So September was amazing. I'd moved to Wales sort of the year before, so I was living in a bit of a building site. We've since moved down. The house is still a building site. We're living with the in-laws, but so it was all like a really amazing thing in amongst what had been quite a big year in terms of change and moving away from my family and stuff. And then I had some traction like with clients and things. I was working with like Lisa Johnson and people like that just before Christmas. And then very quickly I got diagnosed with a brain aneurysm. So I ended up being in hospital.
Fucking hell.
So I know my health is literally a bitch. So so basically I was feeling a bit funny. I had weird feeling in my arm. I'd fallen over a couple of times, and my partner was like, "Ally, you clumsy as fuck, but you're not. You don't just normally fall over." And I couldn't write, so I was like trying to do some writing, this was in December, and I was like, my hand will not write. It was really weird. It was like a child's scrawl. I went to the doctor, and he was like, "Oh, I think you've had a stroke," and I was like, "Okay." Then they got me in the following day, and then I didn't leave hospital for 2 weeks. So I ended up in Birmingham and had to have a 5-hour operation. And basically it was like live or die, life threatening.
God.
Yeah. So I just see it like, oh, that's just happened, you know.
That's when I was ill. I think when you're going through anything like that, because you're in it, you don't realize how big it is, or even if you're on the balance and you survive, you still don't go, fucking hell, that was like a big thing that happened. If I look at when we reflect on, my dad he's got a catastrophic brain injury. He fell off a step 4 years ago.
Oh.
And but we'd not spoke to him for 6 months previous, and then we went from not speaking to him to being his carer. And even now, 4 years on, we're just kind of going through the motions of looking after him and doing all these things. And sometimes me and my sister look at each other and we go, God, this big stuff, like it's hard to process. Like, I think if you get too lost in it, you can get lost in it, can't you?
Oh yeah, like, so go back to when I was diagnosed with my rare autoimmune disease, that I did hit rock bottom, but partly I got told it was cancer. Then it was several months. I had to have loads of biopsies and tests and whatever. And I did, like, I was 29 and I thought, well, this is it. I'd had all these plans for my 30th, and it just felt like life really had decided to just piss on my bonfire. And so I did loads of work on myself, like so much inner work, and help with like a therapist and stuff. And then so I really felt like when my book came out in September, I was not going somewhere, but I was making a life. I was like, and like I had a purpose again, and I wasn't just Ally who's been ill and she had to stop her career and all that shit. And then basically December, I couldn't believe it. Like I felt fine apart from not being able to write and a bit like unbalanced. And then they were like, oh, you can't leave hospital. So I was like, what do you mean I can't leave hospital? And they were like, you can't leave hospital. Like, if this ruptures, Ally, you'll die. And I was like, what? Don't be so dramatic type. I feel fine. Yeah. So it was really weird. And then,
what? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So I felt it was a really weird situation. And obviously I could see, like, my partner, his face was like distraught, my mum, like, and every time I kind of saw them for the first week, they were fine. And then when my operation got scheduled in, they were like, you could just see more and more worry. But there was just like added things. We weren't sure with my operation whether I would come out with sight impairment. So because of where they had to operate, yes, there was a chance that basically I could come out with either visual impairment or only be able to see like a tiny bit. So all that was stressing me out, because I was thinking, well, I can't drive, and like, what will I do? And so
your vision is a life changer.
Exactly. Whereas all my family were like, Ally, it doesn't matter, you'd be alive. And I was like, but alive with like not being able to see. And I was very much like a bit like but they were like, we don't care as long as you're alive. And I was thinking, well, I don't want to be a vegetable not being able to see, not that I'd be a vegetable, but
of course, but you process things in different ways, and your vision for pardon the pun, but your vision for your life is one way, and then to get told that actually it can't be, it possibly there is a potential that it can't be the way that you planned it to be, throws you into that, well what then? Because
and that's what I
don't know.
Exactly. And that's what I found. Like, so very much like before, I'd been really strong the couple of weeks. Like, we'd watched loads of stuff on Netflix, and I tried to do some client work. So that was one of my biggest things, is Wi-Fi, hospital Wi-Fi is shit. So I had to like let my clients down and just say, look, this has come out of the blue. I've got this. I'll get back to you like ASAP, thinking like it won't be long and I'll be sorted. So that was frustrating, because I felt like I'd only just started, and then I was having to say sorry, stuck in hospital. So it was a weird time. The couple of weeks before my operation, I was like really strong, didn't really seem bothered. And then like probably half an hour before my operation, I was broken. Like serious, like snot dripping, sobs, like you can't breathe. Saying bye to my partner and my mum, because they walked down to the operating theatre with me. And it wasn't that I was like scared I wasn't going to wake up. It was just like, I don't know what this next step is. Like, I'm going to sleep, and like, how will I wake up? So God bless, thank you, like, to the universe, I came out with eyesight, so I'm okay. I still have the aneurysm. It's been stented and coiled. That took 5 hours. But touch wood, we're okay. Apart from I've got a severe head pain most of the time in the back of my head, which they don't know what that's from. So yeah, having to get up every day with my autoimmune disease and that sometimes is tough. So
You're an absolute inspiration, Ali. You are an absolute
thank
inspiration.
you.
And people bandy the word around quite a lot, don't they? So when you've been through something, you're like, oh my God, you're an inspiration. And you think, okay, well, what are you going to... You're going to inspire people to do something then. You're like, if you're an inspiration, what are you, I even by telling my story, like domestic abuse and homelessness, people say, oh, you're inspirational. Good. I'm glad. What am I inspiring you to do? Go and do something with that inspiration then. Go and get some fire in your belly and go and fucking do something with it.
Absolutely. And I think I've said that quite a lot on social media, and I think I put it in my book, but my book I wrote obviously before the aneurysm.
Oh.
And I said, like, I want to inspire people. Like, if I can do anything, I want to inspire people, but inspire you, like fire in your belly, life's short, like make the most of it, like cherish the moments, go do something with it. So yeah.
Absolutely.
But thank you for calling me.
You are. You don't have to. I'm describing it. I'm not like making it up. So what are your plans at the moment? What is happening in the world of Ally Davis at the moment?
Yeah, so the first part of this year was tough. So I was recovering obviously from the operation, and then March the 3rd or something, I'd been to the hospital for a regular checkup, and then March the 4th they rang me and was like, oh, we think you've come into contact with somebody who had coronavirus. Would you mind isolating? And I was thinking, for fuck's sake, like seriously, that's just like typical. So I was like, yeah, of course. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, fine, I'll isolate. And then obviously the whole country went into lockdown. So I literally, from March the 4th till I think August the 16th, have been in lockdown. So we're in the sticks. I'm obviously with the in-laws, I'm not married, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The family. But I didn't see my sisters. I didn't see my mum. I didn't see any friends. So that's been really hard, not seeing people, and I have at times felt pretty lonely. But then like things are starting to happen now. So I've been to the shop once. I went to lunch with my friend, and obviously I've seen my mum and my sisters, and we're actually catching up tomorrow as well. So but in terms of like, I'm just trying to get out there a bit more. Like people didn't really know about me. And then obviously I only had a short stint when my book came out. So I didn't really, I had all these plans for a massive book launch, and then it kind of went out the window. So I've just been getting visible, trying to talk in places, offer my services in terms of Pintrest. So that's kind of what I've been doing.
I love it. So you've got the book. And you've got your group. So where's your group? Yeah. Where can we hang out with? Where can we? Because I need to find out. I need to find out more about this. Sarah will be like, "Yeah, Daniela really needs you," because she called me by my son's name.
Daniela. Bless her. Daniela, that's so cute. Love Sarah. So my Facebook community is the Pintrest Club. So that's where I hang out and do obviously tips and training and support. I'm obviously on Instagram, Facebook. My website is allydavis.com. I'm obviously on Pinterest, yeah. I forget to say that sometimes. People have to trick me. I should say that first, shouldn't I? Pinterest, then Facebook, Instagram, but I forget. But yeah, on Pinterest, obviously. So hopefully November time, I've got a course coming out. So that's the plan.
Yeah, amazing. And that is going to be so helpful for so many people, especially as they're moving into the online space. More and more people are coming into the online space, especially off the back of COVID. So even for established businesses, bricks and mortar businesses that have had to make that decision right at the top of COVID, like as soon as we got locked down, we got to start hanging out online. So
and Pinterest you can use locally.
Absolutely.
Pinterest you can use locally, so you can just make sure you put your part of your strategic description, like put your region or your town. A lot of people obviously when they're going on holiday will look on Pinterest to say, right, well, I'm going to the Lake District. What can I do in the Lake District? So it's the same mentality for a business. So if you are a brick and mortar business, if you have a boutique or whatever it may be, it's about obviously showcasing yourself on Pinterest because your audience will be there. So
fantastic. So how we went on lockdown March, and then it's been March ever since, and now it's September. Have you found that people have been coming to you more and more over the course of lockdown, or is it sort of you trying to get things moving again now for you and everything that's going on around you? Like, how have your audience found lockdown, and has using Pinterest been helpful during that time?
Yeah, so I mean, the first couple of months, sort of March, April, May, I probably wasn't putting much out there. I wasn't doing a lot because I was still struggling with this
For obvious
pain.
reasons.
Yeah. And then sort of the last couple of months, I've really pushed it in terms of I've built my community. So that's like grown. I've been in other membership groups. I've obviously been offering support and tips in people's groups, and I've done some trainings and things. So now definitely I think people are waking up to obviously the fact that Pinterest is a search engine, not a social media, and it's a marketing tool. So ultimately it's about how you market and showcase your business online. So people are definitely waking up to that. I've had a lot more inquiries about, how do people use it, how can it, and some people find it really overwhelming, like it's another thing to do. And that's the thing that we say, we've got to do all the things. Yeah, we got to do all the things, like as I said, all the social media, LinkedIn and whatever. But I've said, like, think about what content you're putting elsewhere, and just have a think.
On Instagram, so Instagram is a visual platform. If you're already posting on Instagram, let me know if you're posting on Instagram. Then there is nothing to say that you can't utilize that content as a pin on Pinterest, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can actually pin via you can actually pin via Instagram anyway. So if you've set yourself up to have a business account, which is free, and you can convert a personal account. If you've set yourself up with a business account, you can actually claim your Instagram and then just pin from Instagram. But also if you're using a scheduler, so I like to use Tailwind, you can schedule your Instagram post to obviously go in Pinterest. The only caveat I tell people is, from when you're looking at Pinterest, you can obviously see that they're a specific size and they're quite long and a bit short and whatever. Obviously it will work better if you've resized it into a pin template.
Yeah.
But it's, as long as you're getting content out there, that's a better thing. But yeah, the best way is probably to resize it as a template. But yeah, if you're using Instagram, or you're putting stuff in a community, or you're blogging, or you have services, you don't just have to be a visual business. You don't just have to be in interior design or food. Even coaches, obviously I've worked with coaches on there, authors.
Even like blog articles, aren't you? You can link back your pins to blog articles. I've seen that quite a lot, where I've been searching for, I don't know, chest tattoo. I just had a chest tattoo, so searching for chest tattoos. Actually, then instead of just seeing the picture, but you can click on an article, and that article will be in a magazine somewhere that then you can read your 50 great chest tattoos, for example.
Yeah.
So you can, as a coach, for me as a speaking coach, it could be a picture of speaking on stage, because that might be going on someone's vision board, but I can have an article attached to that saying why you need to get speaking, top 5 tips for speaking, all of that.
You got it. Yeah.
I'm learning.
You got it. And that's what I was saying about, like, somebody might be looking for a tattoo and save a beautiful tattoo, but then that pin is actually a blog article, which then shows you, like, whoever is
like the artist.
Yes, that's it. So that's how it works. And very much like you were saying about having that picture that could go on somebody's bucket list or their vision board, but then it actually takes them through to going, oh, well, who's the pinner? Oh, that's Dani Wallace. Oh, what does Dani Wallace do? And then before you know, you've gone, and that's how it really is obviously beneficial for your business.
I think we need a conversation, Ellie. We need to have
I thought maybe I was hoping after that you might think, oh, maybe I need to think about Pinterest.
The thing is, like, one of the great things about this show is that I get, queuing people up in the way that I do. It allows me to speak to people, and for me to find out more about their businesses. Yeah. The whole point of IATQB, the whole point of the whole I Am the Queen Bee movement, is that we find out, instead of it being like sales and networking, that we find out about what each other does and help each other and lift each other up. And you get to showcase what you do. I get to interview people with them. It's like multi-purpose fake.
It's the best TV show around. That's what I tell everyone.
I love it. Thank you so much. So we are running out of time. We've got a little bit shorter show just because of the school run and all that with the kids going back to school this week. We're going to be changing to 9:15 to make it a little bit easier. Paul Newton yesterday was furious. He was like, "You made me get up at 7:30."
I thought that was coming,
My
and I got up this
apologies.
morning, and I was like, "I bet you next week it's later." But it's fine.
Yeah,
I
it's
did
going to
it
be
for
the week
you.
after next. It's going to be the week after next. We've got a lot of people to move around, you see. So, yeah, and so, my apologies. It wasn't a little bit later. But Ally Davis, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
What is the name of your book?
Pinteresting. You can find that on Amazon. I know. Do you know what? Every time I say it, I laugh because Abby was really adamant. Like she was like, "Oh, Pinteresting," and that's how we got the title. So
I just love it. I just think it's brilliant. You can find Ally obviously online. Do connect with her. Ally, please pop the links to your group and your book onto the comments section wherever you find this. This is on my personal profile, the IATQB Hive on YouTube and all over the gaff. So make sure you pop your links on there so we can get amongst all of the wonderful Pinteresting stuff that you are getting up to. Ally Davis, everybody, that was our show for this morning. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Thank you for holding my hand, mopping my brow, willing me on to get through that book, my own book, which is going to be called I Am the Queen Bee, How I Overcame Self-Sabotage and How You Can Too, which is really exciting. I can't wait to submit that to the publishers a little bit later on today. If you do want to be on the show, we will be opening up applications at the end of this month. So we are booked up now until towards the end of October, and then we're going to start curating. Instead of it kind of being a free-for-all to come onto the show, we're going to be curating our lineup. So what I want to be doing is I want to be bringing real topical discussions to the table, educational discussions to the table, things that you might not think about that we can start bringing, like make it a bit more of a Red Table type of situation. If those of you that haven't checked out Red Table, that's the Jada Pinkett, the Jada Pinkett Smith sort of topical debate type situation. It's been an incredible week here on the show at Rise Up Show. Coming up next week, we have got the incredible, I'm so excited for the wonderful book. So Dylan is going to be joining us on Monday. Be prepared for the fire. We've got Sharon Kay on Tuesday. Claire Clark is going to be talking about all things notebooks, planners and merch. Lisa Hawkyard is going to be talking about mindset on Thursday, and we've got Tikia Braid. I want to make sure I say that right. I'm going to have a conversation, make sure I'm saying her name correctly. But we've got glorious people. So the thing is, when I know people online, I only know their name visually. And then when we have an out loud conversation, I'm like, how am I saying your name? So I'm going to fix that and make sure I sort that the fuck out and give myself a bit of a slap around the chops. But yeah, incredible lineup next week, you guys. Please don't miss it. We are going to be 8 o'clock. It will still be 8 o'clock next week. The week after, we will be changing to 9:15. I will be in Italy the week after next. I'll be joining you from Italy. So I'm super excited to be sharing my travels with you as I start my VIP exclusive experiences over in Italy. So we'll be sharing with you a little bit more about that over the next week or so. And then after that, it is the speaking challenge. If you need to get speaking as part of raising your profile in your businesses, you're going to need to hang out with us in the IATQB Hive, because we are going to have some fire going on there in the next couple of weeks. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Shake your bums. It is Friday. The book is finished. I'm going to do my one-to-ones now, and also I'm going to make this edit happen, submit the book, and then I can relax a little bit. Have an incredible weekend. I will see you on Monday for the Short Rise Up Show.